So as you can see, it's 4:30 a.m. and we're about to go on our conference trip, waking up early so we can actually write this presentation and actually get everything sorted. But I've got my coffee, we've got like a little bit of like this sparkling water thing that I've got to wake me up, flavored sparkling water, which actually is so good, but this is what I'm really here for. Yeah, this is what I need. So we've got this conference coming up and we're going to WA to go to it, and yeah, it should be fun. We've got a presentation to do. I need to just finish writing it up. Most stuff is packed. I've figured out maybe a few shirts to wear. We've got a suitcase. Have a look at it. So we've got our little toiletry bags. Oh, these are my little Grinch socks. Don't know if I should wear these or not. Anyways, we may be wearing them. Got some shorts, got some t-shirts. Can't remember when I've actually been so prepared to pack the night before, but yeah, I'm proud of that. A little bit to do before we actually get picked up. One of my friends is actually going to pick us up on the way to the airport and we're gonna catch a little plane. I'm feeling a little bit nervous because we have to do like a bit of an oral presentation for this project. So it's, you know, standing up, giving a talk, doing like essentially a presentation in front of a bunch of, you know, leaders in the field, and they will maybe ask you some questions at the end and I'm not sure what they're going to ask, and, you know, it puts your research to the test, and, you know, it's a nerve-wracking thing. I think especially if you're aspiring to do that as a career and you're giving a presentation and you want them to, you know, respect your work and do everything like that, you know, having a moment like that in front of everyone when you're putting yourself out there is certainly a vulnerable situation. So it's certainly a nerve-wracking thing, and I'd much rather just, you know, have like a little poster there. So I don't know if doing all these videos has helped me become less nervous for a public presentation like that. I don't know. I think you probably still feel like that, even if you've done like 120 videos like this and put yourself out there into the internet in front of a whole bunch more people. So maybe that just puts it into a little bit of perspective, but still get nervous. You still get a little bit apprehensive about if you should have done more work or less work or whatever. And yeah, we'll see how it all goes. But yeah, this is my little conference trip, and this is what it looks like.
That would have been a good shot.
We can pretend that's my bag.
Go the other way, the sunset's way better.
Good morning everybody, once again welcome aboard.
Okay, so we've arrived in our hotel. This is where we're staying for the next few days for our conference. We've arrived one day earlier, so we actually spent the day just relaxing and not doing too much. I mean, we explored around the city, we went to the beach, we got some lunch, did some, you know, exploring our different shops. Just had a nice relaxing day, which was super, super good. Given that we got up at 4 a.m. to do our presentation, we got on the flight. Well, we left home at 5:30 and then we got on a flight at like, you know, 7:15. Super early stuff. The time zone difference is like, you know, what is it, 3 hours. So we left at 7:15 and then got there at like 8:30 or something. So yeah, pretty odd. So we've been up for probably 3 more hours than I probably would have thought. I've had 5 coffees, which is absolutely insane. But probably my baseline at the moment. My baseline was 3, and then it was 4, and now it's 5. So I'm not sure if I need to like stop increasing that, or if it's just going to keep going up and up and up. Then I need to worry. We're here. We've got some time to just, relax for a little bit. We'll go out for dinner soon, and yeah, we'll just get all prepared for the first day of the conference tomorrow. There's a dinner that we should go to at some point. Obviously we need to do our presentation, but that is on Sunday, so tomorrow's just listening, watching, learning, exploring, mingling, seeing all old faces and whatnot, and then we'll get stuck into the presentation on Sunday. Monday's the last day of the conference, so we'll be here. We'll fly back on the Monday night because we have some assisting to do on Tuesday and a whole bunch of other stuff. So that's what we're doing. And should be good fun, Looking forward to it. Our room's not too bad. Obviously, we are pretty tired and wrecked. We've got an iron as well. Half my shirts are crinkled. I know how to use an iron, but I haven't done it in quite a while. And this little blazer that we've got here is, let me just see. It's actually a little bit dirty. Oh no. I need to scrub out these little marks. Anyways, hopefully we'll look actually conference ready at some point during the next 48 hours. We're settled in. Should be a good fun day. Tomorrow we'll have some dinner tonight and relax and go from there. It's so nice actually just traveling and getting out of the area that you're in to essentially just decompress. You need to travel. I don't know how others feel, but I physically feel decompressed as soon as I travel to a new location. I don't know, you just leave whatever you have is behind at that place, then you go to another place and it's you're only bringing a set amount of stuff, you're only focusing on a set amount of things. You can essentially just reset, and for whatever reason, even though nothing really changes, life still goes on, because you're in a different location, new surroundings, I find it one of the most refreshing things and rejuvenating things ever. So yeah, that's just me, but I think travel, different locations, just doing different things, different activities, definitely something to absolutely reset you. Actually really help with maintaining your mental health and your just longevity in whatever space you are, whether it's in medicine or in a different space. So yeah, we'll go ahead to the conference, we'll sign off for tonight, and we'll go from there. Should be fun. Let's go on to tomorrow. We actually ended up sleeping for a ridiculous amount of time. I think because our body clock's so off and we were up for 3 extra hours, we had about 5 coffees that day. We ended up, oh look, there's people exercising. Good on them. I don't know what exercise we'll be doing, but there's no Pilates or anything, but I want to do that. I think we went to bed about 7:30. We woke up at 3, which is 8 hours, and then we went back to sleep and slept for another 3. So total of 11 hours sleep, which I don't think I've done, ever. I must have been so wrecked. Anyways, it's about 7 a.m. at the moment. We'll start the day, we'll go get a coffee. Figured out there's this cafe on one of the levels at this hotel that I'm staying in. So we'll go do that, we'll finalise a few things, maybe go for a little walk, a little wander, and then, I don't know, we'll mosey on down to the conference and see what's happening. As you can see, I'm all dressed up, ready to go, and look at what we got going on. We've got the shirt, we've got the pants, and we've got the docks as well, so not too bad. The downside is it's really sweaty, so it's 27, 28 degrees, and I just can't be dealing with this. It's too hot for this kind of attire. I need to be in shorts, I need to be in t-shirt, I need to be in a pair of Crocs, and that's it. Starting to blister up on one of my feet, which just is very frustrating. regardless, we've gonna go to the conference for day 2. This is the day of the presentation. I don't know why I'm so nervous for this, but this is just like the way it is. It's like that, you know, that feeling of like having like some presentation that you have to do for like some assignment at school, and you're like, oh, you're like thinking the worst, and then it's all gonna be over like before you know it. And yeah, it's just such a awkward feeling. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know what it is, but it's anytime you have like a big thing coming up, and even I'd rather do an exam than give like a presentation. You know what I mean? Like, it's so, you're putting yourself out there like in a different way, and it's live. So maybe that's a big thing. Maybe it's because it's the, you know, your work, and like it's something that you want to like, you know, make sure you show that you're doing well at and stuff, or I don't know what it is. Probably some underlying, you know, fear of public speaking, which is so ironic, you know, given that we're making this video. But yeah, it should be okay. I'm feeling not too bad about it. We'll have a couple minutes up there. We'll see if we get asked any questions. Hopefully not, and we just you know, go down, and that's it. Get on with the rest of the day. So we'll see how we go. But I guess for anyone who doesn't know what the conference is, you essentially go to this event. It's maybe one day, maybe multiple days. You listen to a few talks. You maybe do a couple of workshops. You have lots of breaks, teas and coffees and snacks galore, and you just mingle with everyone and anyone who's in the field or has any relation to the field whatsoever. And yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get over this feeling, but it's always this feeling of you're so small, and you know, everyone else is so much bigger and smarter and more progressed and everything like that. So there's a real imposter syndrome. I don't know, whenever I go to a conference, don't know how anyone else feels, but you know, you're just like sort of there, and then you have to make like this random small talk with different people here and there, and it's, I don't know, it feels like very forced and very like slightly awkward. And I guess once you get over that and you just start talking to people like they're actually people, that's when it starts to actually, you know, become a bit of fun. But I think there's a big barrier to overcome that, especially if you're new and you're sort of just know like one or two people or whatever. So don't worry, I've been there, done that. Still sort of feel like that, you know, pretty much 95% of the time. But you know, there's a few people who you like, who you know, you'll hang out with, you'll chat to, and it'll be okay, you know. So if you're thinking of going to a conference coming up and that's sort of your perception, then good luck. But that's, you know, it'll get easier. You'll have fun, hopefully. And the other thing that happens at conferences is that junior doctors or other people give presentations, and it's a lot of the time, you know, a requirement for, you know, progression into training, etc., to do presentations and, you know, all those sorts of things. So that's sort of how it looks. You have days of doing workshops and techniques and whatever. You might have demonstrations, or you might have people from, you know, drug companies or, you know, equipment companies who will get you to try different things out. And then, yeah, you just sort of do whatever is on in the conference. And, you know, there's different events going on, there's different dinners, you know, whatever. So lots of different things happening. And yeah, it's a good time to mingle, it's a good time to try things, and most importantly, it's a good time to learn different things and go to a few talks. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing now. Go get some coffee, go to a couple talks, and then later on we'll have some lunch, and then after that we'll do our little poster presentation and then get on with the rest of the day. So yeah, see how we go. All right, let's get to it. Day 2 of the conference. Okay, so final day of the conference for me. Yesterday was an absolute whirlwind. We ended up doing our presentation, which was very cool, but relax for a bit. Oh, it's so hot. I can't be dealing with this hot weather, honestly. I'm a cold weather type of person, like 19 degrees, 17 degrees, probably my home temperature. If I'm outside, I want like a cool 14, 15 degrees. I just can't be dealing with these 30 degree days. Like, that is just, it's a bit too hot for me. I'm a bit weird, but that's me. I like cold weather. Regardless, we went to the conference. It was a full day yesterday. Started at about 10 or so, and then we ended up going all the way through to the final poster presentation at 5:30. The presentation itself, we got through it. I was like so nervous up on stage, but it was the first like presentation. I got asked a couple of questions, sort of semi-intentionally, had a little bit of information that I didn't put in, which is almost like a leading question. Maybe that's a strategy if you're doing like a presentation or something like that. If you don't have the information in, that that's a logical next question people will ask. Then if you just know that information off the top of your head, you can just, answer it, and it makes you look good. And that's exactly what happened for a conversation later on that day. I was chatting to one of the consultants, and they're like, yeah, that was a good presentation. You just left out that, but you knew all the answers. And I was like, well, there you go. And I think you balance it between fitting in the time limit versus the whole information. You pretty much have 5 minutes to chat and 2 minutes to answer questions. And yeah, we got through it on time. So that was it. And having done it, if there's anyone out there who hasn't presented anything at a conference in front of all these people who are so much smarter than you and know this procedure and have actually done a procedure, but you're presenting on it like what you're talking about, it's not that bad. But as with anything, it's just reps, right? So the 10th presentation you do is going to be easier than the first, but it's going to be harder than the 20th that you do. So slowly you get sorted. But yeah, conference was good. Lots of presentations, lots of lectures. At the end of the day, you sort of, I guess every conference is different, but there will be a certain portion of a conference which actually has a segment dedicated to presentations for whatever type of research has been going on. So it might be a consultant from a different country. It might be one of the registrars who's on the training program here. It might be a medical student who's just interested in the field and wants to get some research done and show what they've been doing. So whoever's able to present, essentially it's just a PowerPoint slide, and you get up on a lectern in front of maybe, depending on the room, maybe 50 people or so, do your presentation, answer your questions, and go from there. And you get a couple points for it if you are, wanting to apply for whatever training program. So every college, every training college will have different requirements, but a lot of them make you go to the conferences, do presentations on research in that field, and yeah, get to it. So it's a good fun. There's lots of companies as well that sponsor all the lunches and everything. So there's different stations to learn about different products. I was talking to this one person about this AI technology in dictation. So essentially you scribe, it's like an AI scribe is essentially what it is. And they do notes for you while you're talking to the patient, and essentially captures the speech, converts it into a transcript, and then from that will, produce a note in whatever format you want, whether it's a letter to the GP or a patient note letter, or maybe it's just a summary or a referral letter to someone else. So yeah, all that stuff is really, really cool. So hopefully keen to do some stuff with a technology like that in the future. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. So I think there's a lot of research in that space that needs to be done to implement it into our practice and just make it like a seamless transition, So yeah, and then what did we do? Well, we just went out and had some dinner, and yeah, ended up just catching up with a few friends, and you just meet people. I think that's the best thing about the conference, is that you just meet all these different people who are in similar situations to you across different states. And if you haven't been to one and you just one or two people, that's completely fine, because I was in that boat. Still feel like I'm in that boat. Learn to see all these different people, and it's fun. And as long as you just go in with a good attitude, I think you can't have a bad time. So late into the night, early start this morning, brekkies down. So we're going to go to our last day of the conference, see how that is, and then yeah, we had to check out. I tried to get back into my room after breakfast, but it was already past checkout time, and they had to like reactivate the key, which is very frustrating. But now the room is packed up, the bed is messy, luggage is sorted, so we're gonna go drop our bags off somewhere and then go to the conference. And I don't know how long I'm gonna not sweat in this shirt for, because it's too warm. Anyways, catch ya.